is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome to the discussion for Horrified, which is a game that took the world by storm whenever it came out, because you can get this at Walmart or Target, and which with games like this, usually you don't get good ones that are mass market like that.
Oh, really?
It's very, very rare for games to go to major distributors like that and end up being good, because usually they get the stupid ass.
Yeah, that's
like
some kind of party
the speak out where you put
the...
some nasty ass mouth thing and you have to talk.
Ew.
You haven't seen that? You put the thing that like keeps your mouth open and you have to say phrases and people have to guess what you're trying to say.
Do you use that?
Yeah.
You wash it?
Well, I'm sure you wash them.
That's disgusting.
It's a disgusting. And people are drooling, and then
No!
I'm dead serious. Anyway, so those are the kinds of games you see.
Something that 7-year-old's gonna want to fucking play. So it's sell.
Right. So when this game came out, it was kind of like everyone was like, "Oh no, it's actually really good." And yeah, I think this game is actually a lot of fun. It is a really, really cool theme. Like normally these kinds of monsters and stuff aren't used, like the actual named
The old movies.
Yeah, like the old horror genre that were littered in classic literature and old movies. And the fact that it's replayable, it's not one of those games that you can just be like, oh well, yeah, that was fun, but we're kind of done. Like having different combinations of the like monsters come out is going to give you a slightly different game, trying to figure out how to stop each of them. Granted, each monster is defeated the exact same way, but still, this game gets a pretty big pass for being released in major distributors and actually being good. Yeah. So, what do you think?
Oh, it's definitely not a bad game. You were right on the money there. It definitely has a pandemic feel.
It does.
Strange.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know you're not like managing cubes, but it's just definitely the board management and kind of the turn. Mm-hmm. Definitely the turn alternating. With you monster, partners. Then it's like you kind of get off balance as you realize just how long the next person's turn is going to be from occurring, and how much is going to happen before then. It's like, oh yeah, next turn. That's 4 turns away.
Yeah.
That's 4 monster actions.
Exactly.
Are you going to survive that?
Right.
So, yeah, it definitely had that, all the management aspects. Definitely challenging. Suck dick.
It was rough.
Definitely, I can see why 3 was definitely normal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got the difficulties down, it seems.
Right. Yeah. Definite pandemic feel in complete structure, which is perfectly fine because Pandemic is a solid game. Mm-hmm. So of course, just kind of take that idea. I mean, yeah, because you have, instead of cubes, you're managing really items.
Yeah. Because they serve a lot of purpose, guarding your character and used to solve issues. And then you only have so many. It's going to come from a place. And yeah, Invisible Man fucked us.
Yeah.
That's what we get for like kind of neglecting him.
That's true. We did not really focus him at all. We were so focused on the Mummy, trying to figure out his thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, yeah, okay, yeah, the Invisible Man will be fine. But then we didn't even think, oh, if an item isn't around, we can't even complete him. Mm-hmm. Whereas everyone else has a little bit of wiggle room. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they each have their own complexity. And I really like the fact of how they're thematic, like kind of what they're going for. How you advance them, and then how you defeat. Well, defeating them is kind of relatively simple. Mm-hmm. It's just have a number and be in their space.
Right, have that item count. Yeah.
But like actually advancing is kind of thematic to each character.
Smash the coffins.
And the game comes with 6. So the 4 we played. Then there's Frankenstein and his bride, which of course is Frankenstein's monster, and then the Curse of the Black Lagoon. And I think another thing that makes it interesting is the monster event deck. Like, who's going to go and how far they're going to move and how much they're going to attack is going to be different. And then the events aren't always going to go off because you don't have all the monsters in. Mm-hmm. So
you get little breathers every now and again. Mm-hmm. The variability keeps you on your toes.
Right. While you're also trying to protect the villagers. And if you can get the villagers moved into their spaces, you get perks, which is what I was trying to just bank on by by the end of it because I was like, well, there's gotta be something. I mean, and then of course, similar to Pandemic, your combination of the heroes is going to dictate how the game is going to be played.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It seemed like there's probably a handful.
Yeah, there are 7 total. So you have the Courier, 4 actions, place your hero in any space with another hero.
Okay.
The Archaeologist, 4 actions, pick up items from an adjacent space.
Oh.
And then the Professor, special action, he has 4 actions, move any hero or villager 1 space.
The other dudes.
Yeah.
Because we were
the
all
3
women.
guys. Yeah, 4 women and the 3 guys. But yeah, you can definitely compare these to, like, these abilities to people in Pandemic. Like, the Generalist in Pandemic has 5 actions.
Oh, cool.
And that's it. The Professor is like the what is it? It's not distributor, but the one that can move other people. That's exactly what he is. Like the Archaeologist might be the guy. Oh, he can cure from adjacent spaces. So you definitely see the parallels with that game. But even then, like, I mean, that's not a negative. Like, because then the creature from the Black Lagoon, he has a boat, and you have to find his hidden lair at the camp. Use different items to move the boat to the next X. So you're trying to basically use different items to move the boat until you get to the lair spot.
Oh, wow.
And then you find him, and then in the creature space, use 3 different colored items to beat him.
He wants multicolors.
He wants multicolors. Then you have Frankenstein and the Bride. In Frankenstein's space, use a yellow, or in the Bride's space, use blue. Increase the monster's humanity by the item's strength to move the monster that many spaces. So you're wanting to get them to their different spots. And then when the monsters meet, if both dials show the monsters' faces, they are defeated. So you want to get them to meet.
Kill them!
Then they kill themselves. But I really, really like that. Just how different each one of them are. I mean, in terms of negatives with the game, which once again aren't as strict because you don't back this on Kickstarter, you don't pay, you don't go out of your way.
It does reduce the restrictions quite a bit.
I mean, you just go to Walmart and
you
pick it up, and you just buy it like a normal human being.
Yep.
But it is, I mean, similar to Pandemic, it is random. Like, how well you do and how hard the game is dictated by randomness of items coming out, randomness of the events, randomness of the rolls, like, that is all completely out of your control. So if you're really, like, trying to solve the mummy's curse and no yellow items are coming out anywhere where you're at or at all, then it's like, well, we can't really do anything about him.
Yeah.
Like, at least in Pandemic, you can always do something with cubes that are coming out. Versus here, it's like, well, we need a laboratory token, and there are none in the bag, so we just can't beat the Invisible Man.
Yeah, he was definitely the most specific. It was, we should have keyed into that, just how specific he was.
True.
And really jumped on his opportunities when they did occur.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't feel like we were super strained. It wasn't until him at the very end.
Right.
So I feel like they have a pretty good spread. Like, I mean, I get the randomness.
Sure.
But I feel like it's just like a little bit here and there, but it's not enough to distract from like the kind of core mechanics of the game.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's not even that big of a negative, but it is a factor to keep in mind.
Right.
Like, we probably actually would have won had that one thief card not popped up.
I know, yeah.
Like, and just stuff like that is still kind of annoying, because especially if you're doing challenging and you're actually doing pretty well, you're like, man, we're actually, okay, if we do this this perfect move, and it pays off, and you're like, we did it. Oh, thief. Yeah. And then just, now it is for sure we lost.
I never really saw myself as doing the hard mode in a board game kind of guy, because they always have enough randomness that's just like, no, I'd rather fucking not. Like, I just played this for 2 hours and then I got fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Exactly. Like, for games that do have that kind of scaling, I much prefer a cooperative game that is already hard by itself than me upping the difficulty
Don't play purist on KDM and kill yourself.
Yeah, right. Oh, we lost. Someone died. The game's over.
Okay, yeah. Oh, 3 bleeding.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, it's
A
like
running joke of the channel.
it is at this point. Yeah. But like, I mean, because I've done Pandemic with every expansion, and it is impossible.
Yeah.
Like we've done it where we had 6 players trying to make it work. It just, you can't do enough for everything going against you. But I will say, for a game like this, whenever it's like, oh, challenge mode, grabbed us four of the monsters, like it never felt like overwhelmingly like what's the point? You know, we're doing this as a gimmick at this point. No, we were still really close. I mean, we had the items to kill him, or defeat him. We just didn't advance, and that was more of just a neglect on our part. Because he never was a problem. That was the thing, and kind of how they move around is almost thematic to them.
That's probably how they meant it to be, because like you kind of, because of the specifics required on his items, and then the fact that he isn't like deadly like the others can be. He's a man. He's sneaking up. He's doing shady shit.
Yep.
And then right at the end, he's like, "I fuck you in the butt."
Yep. And then you're just like, "Yay, thanks." I mean, he stalks the villagers. So I mean, yeah, he kind of is in the behind the scenes, because you're just like, okay, we're gonna go after the ones that are actively hunting us, and then we're just like, wait a minute. Oh god, he moved to a villager and killed him. Like, and that's just going to increase. I mean, we were 1 away from losing, just based on terror. I thought that for sure was going to be the reason we were, because like as soon as they all moved and just immediately defeated one, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a short game. But yeah, it feels good. This is a really cool theme. Someone online I've seen, they made their own. It looks like it was produced, but they did horror movie monsters. So they did like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Freddy, Jason, Pennywise. They just re-themed it with those kind of things.
Like the same style game?
Same exact game. I think they even went out of their way and made like cards. So it's basically this game, but with like I don't know what the slasher movie film.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, that is commitment.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see an expansion for this. There's enough of these things.
This could definitely be expanded on with more monsters.
Yeah. I mean, more monsters, more perks, more heroes.
Yeah. Very easy to expand upon game.
Yeah. Which one was your favorite?
The monsters?
Yeah.
Well, that kind of sucked. Dracula was pretty simple. I can see why his complexity was low.
Yeah.
Mummy sucked ass. I can never just. It's like, oh, throw yellow items at it and move the slides around. So that kind of sucked.
Right. Yeah.
They all kind of sucked.
Yeah, Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein is a complexity high. Then I think the Mummy is complexity high. I think they go 2, 2, and 2. Then Wolfman and Creature from the Black Lagoon is medium. Then you have Dracula and Invisible Man.
Well, I definitely felt the Mummy's presence a lot more early game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that one was just kind of burn it. And then just, I mean, because these are random, how those 3 come out. And so it's like, okay, it really sucked whenever we just had one move left to just at least crypt it. I mean, in terms of theme, I actually did like the Mummy. I like that. It made me think of Mansions of Madness, like the little puzzles when you're using actions to try and... That one was definitely more puzzly. The Dracula one is just kind of cool. It is very simple, but they're all in the 4 corners of the board.
Yeah,
I think they're all pretty solid for what they do. What I would have liked is, instead of just a general, this is the deck every single time you play, it would have been really cool is if each monster had its own deck.
Yeah,
and then you just shuffle them together.
Yeah.
So they're always doing something instead of... I mean, that is kind of a reprieve when you're like, oh, thank God, it's Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, and also helps with their scaling and their difficulty.
Yeah.
You know, it's like now you have 4 types of cards that are going to activate versus 3 versus 2 versus 1.
Yeah, that's true. And we would have had absolutely no chance had we not done 4 total people.
Characters? Yeah.
Yeah, that's just impossible. But yeah, I mean, I haven't tried the...
Just 1 to 5?
Yeah, it does have a solo. Oh, we probably should have had one more person. But that's one more person to be defeated, one more person to divide. That's one more... I mean, that shortens the game significantly, because this deck just stays the same. But I like it quite a bit. I am pleasantly surprised. Oh, who's the company that did it? Universal Studios? Well, that's you. Oh, Universal Studio Monsters. That's who they are. Ravensburger. I know the company. I just can't think of any games that they've done. But yeah, I mean, I think they could just do Monster Pack. And I can't think of any monsters that, off the top of my head, that aren't in here.
Yeah. Yeah, they might have to branch out a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I might subtract from their theme if they did. Because I know they wanted to go for the old style, super thematic monsters that are kind of in the community conscience.
Yeah.
But
Universal Studios, yeah, it sounds like, actually...
I mean, I'm no old movie buff.
Same.
I can barely watch current movies, so I'm not going to go back and watch
Yeah, I mean, it's actually, now that I think about it, I can't really think of any off the top of my head. These are the very well-named ones. But it would be cool if they did do a slasher film one that they actually took that guy and, like, hey, we'll pay you to make this game.
Yeah.
But that... Cool. I mean, they can't mass market that. Yeah. Hey, Walmart, have Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Freddy. Oh, nope, and Jigsaw, you know.
The Leprechaun.
And oh, yeah. There's definitely a lot more of those. But
Pinhead.
Pinhead, yeah.
Gremlins.
No, they're not slashers. Come on.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Like I can't really think of much to talk about.
Game, easy to put up, easy to get.
Yep.
Cheap-ish, I assume.
Yeah, like $30.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for money.
Yeah, and
easy to break out for board game night.
Board game night, friends, family. Just be like, I mean, if you want to be perfect Halloween game. So. And it's incredibly solid. Not a lot of games come out and release in stores like that are good. So that it's nice. It's nice to see the games that would go in a collector's in a hobbyist collection is actually released to the public. So
it's not Exploding Kittens or
Text
to Me.
Yeah, or Trolley or something.
The good old Cards Against Humanity.
Cards Against Humanity, yeah. Joking Hazard. It's none of those. I mean, there's nothing wrong with those games if you're...
Just easily palatable and anyone can get a hold of them and like, haha, they're funny.
Yeah, haha.
That's what people buy.
Exactly. So, all right, Devin, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, man. Like, it was good. I'm like, maybe like on like a strictly Devin scale, man, I'd give it like a 7.
7?
But like I felt like it was a decent game, Like if I was on a holistic scale, I'd give it a little higher. But as a Devin, I'm like, I'm not gonna come back to this like super, like a whole bunch. I'd sooner play Pandemic.
Right.
But it was good. It was a good game. It's unique. I like the theme. It's well made. All that good.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll give it a 7.
Yeah.
So I'll try to be a little more Devin scale since that's what you're.
That's what I try to get you to get. Yeah. I mean, I love Pandemic. But I think I will agree with you because I was going to give it an 8, because I mean that's kind of where I would fit Pandemic.
That's really prestigious, We need to be a little more snootier with our ratings.
Well, I mean, but it's gonna go down to a 7 because I also still don't feel that the replay value is as high as Pandemic.
Yeah,
it's not as set up random to where it's gonna completely change depending on what you have. Like once again, the Dracula, you will fight him the exact same way.
Yeah.
Items are going to be in different spots, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and when you're playing in these high numbers, it's like that's like half of your monster roster. And so you're going to be seeing all of them.
Exactly.
If you play twice, it's like, okay, now you've seen all of them.
Yes.
On normal, and that's seeing 3 each time.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's it, and now it's just a mix of them.
And that's kind of where the difficulty comes in. It's like, if we want to do novice with 2, it's like, okay, well, let's try and bump it up. And then, the difficulty does ramp up quite a bit. But, you know exactly what they're going to do. So for me personally, I do very much like variable setup, different ways to play, and you can't play this game a whole bunch and see a different game. I've played so many games of Pandemic, and I've never been like, wow, this felt like that one game. This felt like the Pandemic game we just played last week or whatever. Here, because I've seen whenever I played this. I mean, I was able to play this with my mom, which is a huge deal because normally she's not as palatable with a lot of these games.
Yeah.
This is one that you could probably take to your parents and they'd be like, "Oh, we get it."
Yeah.
But we did Dracula and the Wolfman because that's what it recommended. And I mean, I will say though, having Wolfman and Dracula combined with the two, I wasn't sitting here like, "Wow, Dracula, go destroy the coffins," you know. But you are limited. So, but I'm agree with you. I think a 7.
Okay.
So that is our thoughts on Horrified. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.